Welcome to Money Club Mondays. It's June, I don't even know, June 6th, 2022. So scooting right through the year 2022, a lot going on right now. So the markets have still been very volatile, a lot of craziness happening. We've had, fortunately, a lot of new people opening up banking policies, moving over to self-directed retirement accounts, taking back control of their money, understanding things like HELOCs and equity lines and how to, leverage money. And one of the great solutions to keeping money moving has been the private money club. So we've had a lot of success both on the lending and the borrower side within the private money club lately. We've had a lot of really good new deals coming in, a lot of really good new borrowers. Like I said, a lot of lenders coming in with banking policies, with self-directed IRAs that are ready to go. So a lot of exciting stuff happening. You'll notice that privatemoneyclub.com is still the beta version. So our dev team is working hard. We've been having weekly meetings on creating the new privatemoneyclub.com. We still are on track for an official launch of the new product in October. So time's flying by. It's only several, a few months away. So in the meantime, we'll just continue to rock and roll with the Private Money Club platform we have now, which is working excellent. And when people like JulieAnn are bringing deals to the table, it's a good thing. So JulieAnn, so thanks for joining me. So JulieAnn's a member in the Private Money Club. She's has a deal available right now. So JulieAnn, that's what we're going to talk about. But before we talk about the specific deal, maybe you could just share with us, a little bit about yourself. Is this kind of new for you? Have you been investing for a while now? Just, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I actually made a PowerPoint. Am I able to share my screen?
Yeah, you should be able to. That'd be great.
So this is the address and the deal that I posted. So you may see that as I was looking for 100,000. Most people here in the Money Club do interest only, just to make it simple. I'm negotiable, so I put my terms down with what I was looking for. But this is a little bit about me. I started my real estate career in 2006. I got my salesperson license to do real estate by auction, which actually turned out pretty good since the crash happened and they had so much inventory and no buyers. So I actually worked for Beloit Auction and Realty, which still exists. It's north of Rockford. And then I joined Keller Williams Premier Properties. I just did this part-time. I wanted to learn more about real estate. I had friends that did some flipping. I've got other people that I've known that have a lot of rentals. So that's how I got into it. I do have my bachelor's degree in agribusiness, which is also farming. But I obviously, once I graduated, I worked in the retail environment as a manager for a couple of years, and then I became a police officer. So I've been on the Palatine Police Department for 26 years. And since 2017, I got into the mortgage note business, more so than the salesperson side of it. So I started doing mortgage notes, and part of my note buying was actually, I bought a 6 portfolio of buildings here in Rockford. So that's where I currently participate in what we call the note assistance program. It's just a group of people. We have a trade desk. So I have access to more vetted notes, and I have a little bit more ability to get better deals, but I pay for that privilege just like the Money Club. So I'm all about, the Money Club's been good. I've been looking on it, but I posted myself as a borrower because I'd like to also, once I get this deal going, I'd like to start doing some JV with notes with people. I'll find the note, and then I can find some people that maybe just don't have a lot of money that want to put, a little bit of money in and do that. So
yeah, that'd be great, JulieAnn. And just real fast on that, next week on Money Club Mondays, I believe we're going to have Kevin Shortell come on and talk a little bit more in depth about notes. I'm actually going to be out of town next week. So Andrew Chestnut, that all of you guys know, Andrew's going to come on. He's on right now too, but he'll be on next week hosting the show. And Kevin Shortell is going to join him and teach a little bit about notes. So if you guys, like what JulieAnn's saying today, but aren't 100% sure, like what are notes and things like that, if we have time, we can talk a little bit about that too. Now, JulieAnn, I know you want to really talk about this 4 unit, but and you have limited time today. But if anybody wants to learn more about notes, we will have Kevin on next week. and then, definitely connect with JulieAnn, because if you have access to good deals on notes, JulieAnn, I know that's a very popular investment right now. And I think it's a great one to be involved in right now. So that's awesome that you do that also.
Yeah, and I've heard you guys talk to him, and I know that, there's going to be people that maybe just aren't going to be able to access some of those. And like I said, I get vetted, buyer or sellers of these notes. So I trust the person that I'm in part of the group with that, used to be part of Wall Street and gets these deals. So my deal today is I'm looking for 100,000. This is a 4-unit building that I have as part of that portfolio. It's fully rented. 2 of the units, or all 3 of each unit is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So if you know anything about 4 units, they vary. Sometimes one might have 1 bedroom, but these are all the same layouts, the same amount of bathrooms. So this is the back lot. Technically this lot is a separate lot, but I'm willing to put both on the deed to show that both of these lots would be first position for whoever would like to earn some money.
So a little bit, so just on that, JulieAnn, real fast, just explain that. So what she's willing to do is, these lots are deeded separately, but she can combine them to give you a little bit more equity in the deal. If something was to go wrong, you have a little bit more protection on your money. If you were to lend on this deal, it's protected by more money, by more assets, right? So that's a very good thing. Right.
Yeah. So these are 2 pins. It's like on a corner lot. So the actual building is at the 304 North Independence. The adjacent lot, which this isn't the best picture. I have another. If I go back, this is the picture now. Actually, with the lawn mowed and the trees trimmed a little bit. But that one is 1809 West Jefferson. So eventually maybe I would pave this back lot here and make it a parking lot. Right now, if you can see in the one picture, I just have the driveway, and then I have street parking. So that's what the 2 deeds would be secured. Like I said, first position. I have no liens on either one of these properties right now, including the money that I'm going to be using this for is actually to rehab another building that I have as part of this deal. So the original deal that I got this 4 flat and I got this mixed unit that I still own was from the 6 buildings. I have no liens on either left. One's on Independence and one's on 7th Street. So, and then I just pulled up some comparisons. I don't know why I can't see the bottom, but these sales are all within 2022. I think they got cut off, but I lowered my price a little bit just based on the fact that my building is not brick and a lot of these other comparables are bricks. So that's why you might see a little bit less of what I thought what the comparables were. So these are some other ones. 4 flats, usually it'll go around, looks like 140. And then like there's another one that was a little bit more expensive. It had about as many bedrooms as I do. So these are a picture of the ones I just rehabbed. I actually have this one rented now. So I have 2 of the units that are self-pay and 2 of them are part of the housing authority. So I get paid quarterly in advance for those under the housing authority. So I basically, during COVID, it didn't affect me because I automatically got the payments from the housing authority. This was something that the tenant that I have at the mixed unit, which is shelter care, I kind of partnered with them and the Winnebago County Housing Authority to get into a program that the housing vouchers go with the units and not the person. So everybody's probably from a different area. Around Illinois, they started changing the system, and way back in the day, your housing voucher used to be attached to the building. Now they're attached to the person. So the voucher is given to a person. The person is to go out and find their housing. Very rarely do you find deals like mine where I actually have a voucher attached to the building. So I just rotate people out. So I'm guaranteed that income. So I do get less, obviously, because it's affordable housing, but I do get a tax break. So my, depending on where you live, you may think these are actually low rents, but For this area, this is pretty good. I did, as you can see, unit 4, I just rehabbed, getting 875. If I put a washer and dryer in the basement, and I do a couple other things, I could get easily 1,000 for these rents. The tenant pays $725. Has been in there for a couple of years, so I'm about to raise their rent next year when their lease renews in January. And then the 2 other ones that you see are actually a housing authority, but I get the difference in the tax break I get from them. So my expenses are $630 a month. Basically, it's water, sewer. I pay for garbage separately. You see my insurance payment in there, and then you see my monthly for my taxes. And then, so I'm looking for the money that I'm looking for an interest only kind of deal, because I am going to take the money and put it into rehabbing the mixed unit. So I'm looking to pay anywhere from 12 to 15, depending on what somebody, wants to agree to do. So it'd be up to somebody if they want to just park their money for a year, or if they're looking for something a little bit longer, that they don't have to go out and find another deal right away. This is the mixed unit here. The bottom is rented out to shelter care. They're really good tenants. And then the top 2 that you see need to be renovated. So I have a partner that's a contractor. I've been working on basically little by little here. So I'm looking to pull the money out of the mixed, or the 4 unit, to put into the mixed unit here. It's right by a hospital. There are some grants that I could try to go for, but I chose not to do that just based on the fact that I have to stay in those housing programs. And if I want to do an Airbnb and I want to rent to some of the doctors or some of the staff that comes in temporarily at the hospital, I won't be able to do that. This is my contact information, and I'm on Money Club, so you can see me there too.
Yeah, I just, if anybody has any questions about this deal or for JulieAnn, definitely put them in the chat box or the Q&A box, and we'll answer those. So just to kind of summarize everything, JulieAnn, so you're looking for $100,000. Depending on the terms, you're willing to pay, 12 to 15% with interest only monthly payments. You'd like to do anywhere from 12 to 36 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically, I mean, I'd like to keep it a little bit further than 12, because with supply, delays and stuff, I want to try to keep my timeline not so tight, but I can provide some numbers, but I didn't put the pro forma in here because it was a little bit confusing, but like I said, I have no mortgage right now. My expenses aren't much. I'm collecting on all 4 of the units. And, you may wonder why don't I want to go to the bank and just put this on? I don't want to go to I did go to the bank before. They were willing to give me a loan, but I just didn't want to tie it up like that with the amortization. I wanted to try to keep it so that I could keep the title clean and not have any liens on it. So this is just, basically somebody that was going to go out and maybe flip a house or something. It would be the same kind of thing. I'm just giving somebody the opportunity to have, a better, like I said, I'll give the 2 deeds, and that'll be a good collateral for somebody. If you're not worried about the other deal, this is a kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. And how much would you say the market value of that 4-plex and the lot are?
The 4 flat I could sell for 140. Obviously the lot, I'm just going to sell it with the building. I'm not going to sell it separately. So that would go for less, obviously, if I was going to sell it separately, because it's just not a very big lot and nobody's really building at this point. So, but it would, like I said, for somebody to have both of these together, your collateral is much better. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer for $100,000 investment. It's secured by about $150,000 in real estate. It's fully rented property. You have the Section 8 in place with the property, which is great, by the way. When you're explaining that really is a big deal. So that makes a lot of sense. And then, so anybody that has, a self-directed IRA, banking policy, I mean, if JulieAnn will go, 36 months for this, that's a great return on your money for the next 3 years while the stock market and everything does what it's doing. And now you have this nice piece of real estate, that's paying you each month. And then you said, and you've been doing this for quite some time, JulieAnn, and have, other deals and things like that coming up. So, this also is not just a one and done type deal. This is something that you could start to develop that relationship with a lender, and you guys can work together, on more deals moving forward too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I do non-performing notes as well, which there's a way better profit margin than that. This profit margin was really good. It was a local bank that just didn't want to have this note anymore. And like I said, it was including 6 buildings. So when I first got it, it was a little overwhelming because the bank didn't have any receivership in place. And with my real estate background, I basically had to take over the receivership and take over all 6 of the buildings. And now I've gotten it down to, just these 2 buildings, which are the cakewalk to manage. So my goal, I do have plans in the next, 6 months to start adding more note buying back in. I just didn't want to delay my focus on this project right now. So yeah, I definitely would love to have relationships with people that want to lend their money out, because even if it's me putting in part of the money and somebody else putting in part of the money, the returns on the non-performing notes are, phenomenal. And like you said, if they can tune in next week and watch that, they'll understand it better. And those kind of deals, when you find a good one, you just want to rinse and repeat. So, I just happen to live right near these. These are about 40 minutes away from me. Like I said, I pretty much have a pretty good, I actually went to high school a little bit north of Rockford in Wisconsin. So I did work at Kmart right out of school in Rockford. So I do know people in Rockford. I have good connections in Rockford. So I just kept these 2 buildings. That 4 flat is a moneymaker. And I just thought that, eventually I'll probably hire someone to manage it for me, because I'd like to get a little bit more into the notes and the lending part. I got my policy going. So I'm gonna start doing more notes, but I just want to finish this first.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a unique deal too, as in that JulieAnn already owns the property. So it's already established income, like the renters are in there, like she's already owned it. So it's not like you're buying a new, or you're loaning on like a new deal that needs to close and all that. Like, right. I mean, how long have you had it, JulieAnn?
I've had them since 2017.
Okay.
So I still need to paint the exterior of the 4 flat, but I bought this one boarded up. So I didn't move on this one right away. I didn't rehab any of the units. I didn't get it rented right away because I had an 8 flat part of that portfolio. I had a 3 flat part of that portfolio, a single family home, and then, these 2 buildings. So I, had my hands full with other projects. So now I've got this one stabilized. I've got it completely rented. And I basically am looking for, somebody that wants to make some money on their money with a good collateral deal, and then make some relationships so that I can do more note deals.
I almost feel like I should be auctioning this thing right now. Hey, who's got $100,000? All right, let's start at 15%, 15. All right, let's go to 14%. Who wants to do a 14? Who's at 13? It's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm not the auctioneer, but I did, I basically went out and found the properties that, and now with the online auctions, I mean, this was back when, auction.com didn't exist.
Right.
So.
No, it's awesome. All right, cool. So I can't believe nobody has any questions. I guess you did a really good job explaining it, JulieAnn. So nice
Well,
work.
good. Somebody put in loan to value 67. Yeah, it's like I said, my purchase price, I actually purchased 6 buildings for $150,000. So all of the equity that's in the buildings, I've got some other deals that I've been doing. And like I said, I have some other notes. So that's why I'm just looking to put this money back. I'm kind of keeping the money within the deal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see. What's your timeline? What would you need the funds? Probably sooner than later, right?
Yeah, I'd like to get the project started by July. I know it's already into June. I think I posted this at the end of May. So if I need to start in the mid-July, that would be fine too. But I'd like to try to start by the beginning of next month if I can, but I have things in place to start once I can once I can bring the money to the table. And then I do have a title company in Rockford. We'll close at a title company in Rockford and get the deed recorded and everything. So I'm ready with that too.
All right, perfect. All right, so I know you had to take off, and about this time, are you good still, or?
I have. Yeah, I mean, I do have to take off. I have part of my police work. I have a meeting that I'm the president of this association, so I've got to go take care of that. But
Well, cool.
I have
You put
somebody
up
else
just,
covering for me, so I can get there.
I got you. Yeah. So just on your contact information, I mean, so you guys can reach JulieAnn right on Private Money Club, but if you want to send her a text or an email, I'll put that in the chat box for you guys too, so everybody can see it. It's on the screen. FerrarroJam@outlook.com.
Yep, and that's my cell phone. Comes direct to me. That's not my business line or anything. That's my personal cell.
847-361. Just typing. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna put in the chat box so we have it. So when you take off, I still have it there. And then if you guys want to send her a text or an email, you can connect, learn a little bit more. So Claire is asking, would you be willing to split it up between two different people? So like two different lenders, maybe like each lender with like 50,000, something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, they would just have to be willing to have the title recorded in two names at 50-50. I'm not sure. I'd have to talk to the title company.
Yeah, it's
or
easy.
have like a. Yeah.
We do it quite often with like some of the different deals that Chris helps with, Chris Root and stuff like that. And it's basically just having the title company or the attorney, when they do the mortgage, just have an addendum where there's two people on it.
Okay. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Okay. Yeah, knowing Claire, she's probably thinking about like her son or something like that, her and her son. So that's a great point. I mean, if there's no reason not to get a family involved with stuff like this too. I mean, everybody's got an old IRA sitting around. Let's get that thing into a self-directed account and get that money out here moving for you. You can't just let it sit in cash. So deals like this are fantastic. So Freddie said he's going to reach out to you. I'm sure Claire will reach out. Sonia, I'd recommend reaching out. All right, awesome. Well, JulieAnn, I don't see any other questions coming in. So I appreciate you coming on here. So once again, JulieAnn's very experienced and been doing real estate for a while now. So and open to working out, the time frame that works for you for lending on the deal, the percentage, what that looks like, not only on this deal, but future deals as well. So give her a shout, email, text. You guys connect and go from there with it. So JulieAnn, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. So I have one more borrower that's going to be brand new to the Private Money Club. This is somebody that Chris met at a mastermind not too long ago.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Let me change my, okay. Yes, EF. How about, we'll go there. Good, perfect. All right,
Yep, there we go.
great.
All right. How are you, sir?
Good. You, sir?
Good,
You
good.
can see
good.
me?
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you coming on today. So I spoke with Kip Friday about a deal that he has going right now. I talked to Chris Noggle about it, and you guys met at a mastermind earlier this year. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. So met at a mastermind. Obviously that's where we meet a lot of the higher value deals and projects and things like that are people that we meet at masterminds. It's one of the reasons that Chris and I go to a lot of these masterminds to meet people like Kip, people like Rob Fuller that you guys have met, people like Jack Petrick, things like that. So, Kip, you're telling me a little bit about your experience and everything, but if you don't mind sharing with the whole, everybody that's on here right now, you've been in real estate for a while, you have a background in this stuff. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely.
I've been doing this for about 30 years, and we have a deal currently in my not in Florida. It's a 10-acre parcel, and it's commercial development, and we're looking for a first mortgage, and we need about 200,000 or maybe 210 right now. The purchase price on it's $500K right now, but there's so that equates to about 50,000 an acre. It's probably worth more than that. And so we're seeking capital pretty quick. And the reason why it needs to be quick, like this week or next week, if somebody wants to look at the deal, is because we had to have the survey done and they just came in. We're just going to get the final survey today, actually, to get title insurance so we can close this. So that's the reason for the urgency. Otherwise, we would take, normal course of closing the deal. That's the deal we currently have on the table right now that I was asked to present today in this platform. And I don't know if there's anybody that has any interest to taking a look at this. The zoning for this is for storage units. So currently we have 115,000 square feet base that could fit on the 10 acres. The height restriction will allow you to go to 4 stories. So depending on architecture and how we design it, there's going to be a combination of 1 to 4 floors throughout the 10-acre plex. It's located on a highway that has 27,000 traffic count per day. It's a corner lot. The visibility is excellent. It's going into a commercial business park. The adjacent owner across the street has already broke ground to build a trust factory. I think they have 13 acres that is going to accommodate for builders for construction, for new construction, for single family residences and commercial properties that need trust. I think both stick and steel. So they're moving pretty good, and that's what's going to cross this lot that we're in the process of buying right now. Need to close by the end of next week. So that's the reason why I'm on the call.
All right, awesome. And so Kip, I know you work with, these guys that do this. Are you primarily involved like on the money side? Is that kind of your specialty in this, is, learning about the deal and helping raise funds for it? Are you actively involved with like finding and the development and things like that? Or what's that look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm doing both. My side gig or side hustle, like some folks have, I lend in probably 45 states, both on the residential and commercial level. So I've been doing this, like I said, for 30 years. We lend our own money depending on the deal. And I also have, excellent programs for investors from 1 to 4 units. I know she mentioned that she was looking for private money, but, some of the lenders have some really good programs for investors. No documentation, credit score pretty low. I'm doing one right now for an Air Force gentleman. And, his score's in the mid-range. I can't really disclose it, but he's getting a loan and he's pulling cash out. He doesn't have to have tax returns on the deal. It's based off the appraised value and rent comps. I don't know if anybody's heard of that type of program. So that's our 1 to 4 units. Mm-hmm. We also do commercial lending as well. The last program that or the group that we lent was on 77 units. And we can underwrite pretty much any deal. Doesn't matter the size, 100,000 to 100 million. We have access to funds there on A paper, B paper, institutional financing. But private money is a great way to do, for people like us that have our own funds, that have our accounts or the 401s or, the program that Chris and these guys have set up is a great vehicle to lend your money out on. And that's what we're doing with some of our funds right now on some of the other projects that we have going on. So to answer your question, me personally, I have another project besides this one in Florida in the Midwest. We're developing 243 unit PUD, which consists of 33 single family homes, 8 duplexes and 192 unit apartments. And so the reason why I like this Florida deal that I'm presenting to you today is because I think there's some really excellent potential there. There's a need for it in this area. It's a very business-friendly state. The growth is just amazing. I know the head planner there in this county, and I sat down and he said that they're in need of these type of assets. So that was a very informative meeting. So to answer the question, we kind of do both. We lend money, side hustle. I help people make money. I can look at a scenario and say, hey, this might be some ideas for you to look at. You know, is it a private money deal or is it more of a banking deal? So we just look at the situation. We help people out, and we're here to, harmonize and to make, money for folks. And that's why we're here.
Yeah, definitely. So on the 10 acres in Florida, that would be a first lien position.
That's correct.
Deal?
Your
Okay.
first mortgage, and title's all set up, ready to go, and your money will be secure. I mean, we haven't done an appraisal, but according to what we've studied ourselves, the comps for this type of property are going for about 100 an acre. So we're getting a pretty good buy on it. So whoever puts it first at 200 is going to be well protected on that being in that position. We're open to interest rate. We're open to duration. 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, interest rates negotiable, whatever somebody wants to offer to be in that position. We're open to, some proposals that somebody, if they're interested, get a hold of us and see if they want to take a look at the deal further.
Yeah. So you guys, you're looking for 200, it's, worth around 500.
I should add, we're putting down 320,000 of our own money. So we definitely have money into the deal. It's not something that, so we need to make up the difference with some closing cost and the money that we're putting down. So that's well below 50% LTV for people that are doing the math, well below 50% LTV. So it's a pretty, I don't know. We think it's a pretty good investment opportunity for somebody to generate some money on.
Yeah. I mean, just to give you a kind of example of that, we had JulieAnn a minute ago, the loan to value on that's around the 67% mark we were talking about in the chat. I mean, if we, look at very, like Andrew's on right now, they have a new commercial private fund, cap fund, and their guidelines on that are typically about 60% loan to value, which is considered very conservative in that space. So below 50% is very, very, what would be considered very safe or lower risk investment for this kind of deal. So that's pretty cool right there, Kip. And so this money is used just for the acquisition of the actual land, and then you guys will do, as you develop it, do another raise or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Good point. We would acquire the land, and then immediately thereafter, we already have engineering and architectural firm on standby, but we can't engage them because we have to own the property. So it's no sense in spending the money until once the property closes. So to answer your question, we would do a bridge loan, which would, it's going to take a little while. So to answer the question, for whoever puts a first on this, we would get a bridge loan to further develop the property so we can get the building permits. So if there's somebody else that has a little more money that wants to put more money into the deal, we could up the loan amount, still in first position, and cover the engineering and architect. And that would be like a second option if somebody wanted to put more money into the deal. And then once that phase was completed, we would go for a vertical construction loan.
Yeah, that's great. And, when I talked to you on Friday, you were very, kind of open, like, the terms, the length, the interest, you didn't really have like a set thing that you needed to do. And, I like the flexibility of that. So, anybody that's on here right now that has some money to lend, what I would recommend is, reach out to Kip, and, you guys can talk a little bit more details about the deal itself and whatnot, but, you guys can, talk about what those terms look like. How long do you need the money, lent out for? Would you prefer to get it back in 12 months, 18 months, 2 years? Do you guys want to do something, after this first deal goes on? How much interest do you need to make? That kind of thing. So you can have that conversation. It sounds like Kip's very open to, what that looks like. So a lot of flexibility there. And I know you do want to get this funded quickly because you guys need to close on it and get things moving forward. What area of Florida? I know you said the Panhandle. I don't know if you want to get more specific. Chris was asking on here.
There's 3 counties there. And so this is off a Highway 331 that is, Highway 10 runs all the way across the US. Highway 10 is probably, I don't know, 3 miles north. I don't know if anybody's heard of 30A, but there's a community, a well-established travel community there called 30A. There's Fort Walton Beach, Destin. There's Panama City. There's Bay County. There's actually 10,000 homes going in that have already been approved for the adjacent county. So there's a lot of growth in I would call it the tri-county.
Mm-hmm.
I think Elgin's the probably largest Air Force base in the US. And they have a lot of staff coming in the next 2 to 5 years. So these folks are going to need some storage. They're going to need some places to live to accommodate the growth. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. What other questions do you guys have? We got a bunch of people on right now. If you have money to lend or you're looking at these deals, what kind of questions would you have for Kip while we have him here with us? Or maybe you just did a really good job and everybody's still tired from the weekend. I don't know what's going on today. Everybody's just kind of chilling today. It seems like not a whole lot of questions coming through.
Well, it's Monday, but it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just a first mortgage, 200 grand. There's a lot of equity in there. We're putting money down in the deal. So we're definitely not walking from this deal. So it's relative. Nothing's guaranteed. Obviously, you guys, everybody should know that. That's on this call. Nothing's guaranteed. I mean, it's dirt. So we don't have to deal with, tenants right now. So that's another beautiful thing. Which is, it's pretty easy. It's just getting through, phase 1 and then getting to the phase 2 and then build it out, phase 3. So it's kind of phases.
Yep. That's how the development deals are done. You got to start with the land.
The beauty thing here is the infrastructure is all in. The zoning's all there. We don't have to go through any of those hurdles. It's just close and then get the plans and the plat and the engineering completed to get to permits. So that's really nice. That's what makes it nice. A lot of times in development deals, you have to put in infrastructure, which is a whole nother beast.
That's excellent. And like you said, it's in Florida, which is just, an insane market right now. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's people are moving here like it's nobody's business. So let's see, George was the one thing, Kip, if you had somebody come to you, it's kind of like they asked earlier, if you had like 2 people that came to you that were wanting to do it together, would you be able to piece that together for them? Would you think?
Yeah, I definitely could accommodate that. We would put it into, an operating agreement and get the documents together. So we could do 2 or 3 or 4 people if they wanted to, 50 or 75, 2,500. Put it together and we'd have to move pretty quick on it because that's documentation. And I'm sure that whoever put their money in the deal would want their CPA and accountant and attorney to review the documentation. So we're all set up to have the money wired to escrow to close on this. So yes, we could accommodate that.
Okay. Yeah. And Jean Pierre Johnson, he's kind of open to the percentage and the time frame on this. Probably looking at anywhere from 12 to 18, 24 months in that range. And then, the percentage, Kip's willing to, go to whatever the going rate is or whatever, fits your needs. How much are you looking to make on this thing? So what I would recommend is even if you don't have the full 200, 210, I would still reach out to Kip and, let them know what you do have, what you're working with, see if you can make it fit. If there's 2 of you that reach out that have 100 each, like you said, maybe we can make that work or whatever that looks like. So, regardless, I would recommend reaching out, have the conversation or, the brief talk about that and go from there with it.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's pretty much, I mean, this area is very underdeveloped. I forgot to mention, there's McDonald's, I think, down the street, about 2 miles down the street. They're in Chick-fil-A's coming in, probably 2 miles within the property. Chick-fil-A's, they bought a property there and they're going to start building out. There's another major PUD that's probably 1.5 miles. I've been to the dirt a few times myself, so I see what's going on there. I have video of, I don't know, it's probably 300 acres being developed right now, like 2 miles from there.
I don't doubt it.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, pretty straightforward deal. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it being being developed. So that sounds good, Kip. I mean, anything else you want to share on your side?
No, I really appreciate me having me on today and allowing me to present the opportunity. And like I said, anybody that,
Well, I guess how would they get a hold of you? Can we put your info in here?
yeah,
If you want me to email you, text you, call you, whatever's easiest.
yeah, sure.
And Kip's, just so you guys know, Kip's not in the private money club yet, so you won't find him inside, but just reach out directly on this one for now, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I just heard about it, so I haven't had time to join up. But I think I just sent it to you guys, right? Let's see.
Yeah, I can copy and paste it.
You want to do it, or you want me to do it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I just saw it looks like a really great club. I mean, there's a lot of networking going on. It's about, helping people, helping others, and generating cash flow for people and utilizing their money. I mean, it shouldn't be sitting in the bank, for Pete's sake. That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
I mean, first mortgages on properties that have enough equity is a pretty safe investment. It's pretty much what I've been doing, for a long time, decades. I've done a lot of deals, hundreds, you guys. I've done hundreds, thousands, actually. I've lost track. I've been doing this for a long time. I've personally closed 16 loans on my side hustle in the last 2 months, just myself, on 1 to 4 units, for people just seeking me out, going, hey, I got a deal. Can you help me out here? And so that's kind of what's been going on that deal flow for that perspective of our business on the side hustle. But development and other investments, like we've just discussed, are our primary focus. So.
Yeah, it's good, man. I like it. Like I said before, Chris and I go to a lot of masterminds to meet people like Kip that have, decades of experience, have thousands of deals under their belt. They know how to work with people and, help you get your money moving in these deals, how to protect your money with the asset. I mean, lending at 40% or so loan to value is a great deal. So things like that is what we look for. So appreciate you being here, Kip, and coming on today and sharing this. And I would highly recommend anybody that's looking to lend any money over the next couple of weeks, get a hold of Kip and see if you guys can make something work out. So Kip, thanks again for being here, man. And look forward to seeing, some other deals in the future with you and going from there with everything.
Really appreciate you having me on today. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. And we'll see you next week. Like I said, Andrew will be here, I believe, with Kevin Shortell and a couple other, I'll see if I get a couple other borrowers on that bring new deals to the club. If you guys need anything, just give me a shout, text me or email me. I'll be around all week until next Sunday is when I'm going out of town for a few days. But I'll be around all this week. So hope everybody has a great week, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.